Well, boy, can we just have a couple minutes of silence then? And boy, oh boy, I tell you, I have an image, my mind has been in the washing machine, and I could wish I could take it out and put it in the dryer now and have some clarity come. I have just enjoyed walking up to this meeting. That's what it feels like. I was up most of the night. What I see, I get scared. I don't, I am scared. I get scared. It doesn't matter. Scared, scared, scared is the way I have lived my life. Off and on, mostly on. It's like there's so many pieces to the puzzle of who I am, what I am, and who I'm not. And at times it gets so helter skelter, I don't know whether I'm upside down or coming or going. One thing I know, I get scared when I have to do what I'm doing right now. And also, what I know is I welcome it as much as I don't like it, don't want it. I get caught up. Yeah, I mean, to spend, I got a couple hours of sleep, but that's it. What do I do? You would not believe. My desk is covered with pieces of notes and papers. And I thought, what do I really want? And you know what? I guess the theme today is separation, separation, separation. I do not belong. Man, do I project that into the world. And I get all these messengers coming back at me. Yep, you sure don't, do you? Not worthy, all those things. Now, there's a part of me that no longer really, really believes that. But that's what's going on in my mind. So I picked out, I mean, certain things, like here's a little snapshot. Oh, where is she? Where is she? I don't know. I saw her somewhere. Uh, Melanie, when she spent all that time sharing these lovely words that she put in poem about all the group. What a contribution I felt. So I thought, well, okay, maybe I could see. I'm embarrassed now. Maybe I could read some of my poems. You know, I went through a growing period of my life back in the 90s, and I must have written over three, four, 500 poems. I don't write poetry, but sure, the pain was doing it for me. I just, each morning, I'd take my little scribbles into my secretary. She'd type them out. Then they kind of looked kind of nice when I saw them that way. But I just see the pain, the pain, the pain, the pain, the pain. Oh man, I it's like I drug myself through the ringer and I still came out the other side. And so what I see today is how separation has been my theme. And I don't belong. Well, wait a minute. The truth is, I don't want to belong. I keep myself separate. And I love how, oh man, I just love reading other people's words that speak to me, and they say it so well. Because I've believed in unworthiness, I get all these people out here telling me what I project onto them. I just perceive the world I feel inside. All those things, they're so trite when you think about them. One thing I seem to know through all of my pain, frustration, confusion, somewhere in there, we are one. We are one now. Now, preparing for this, man, I was always a map. And like they say, that the mind is once the map and the heart is the compass. I like that. Sometimes I don't look at the compass. I'm too busy reading the map. And it is like when you go out to eat, man, I'm all over the place. My wife accuses me, whatever I order, I see, oh, how's that? That looks better over there. Oh, I wish I'd ordered that. But that's the game, the game, the game. And I see that I love, you know, see, what I've learned now is I love right now. When I slow down, I don't care now what others are thinking. I am just here now. It's so, it, it's, it's so simple and so easy, and yet, and there's no yet. So I prepared a number of tributaries for today. I got a Course in Miracle, um, lesson 182. I reread it back and forth, but you know what? Lately, I have been watching Emerson. Somehow, crazy, it just love it. It he make For me, he makes it so simple. And I've seen over the past 2 or 3 years, I go in and out. I see his style has changed until now. All he does, he didn't give talks. He just does one-on-ones and interacts, pointing out is that that's just a word, that's just a thought. There's no past, no future. That's another thought. Oh, that's thought. And guides the person until, oh, like right now. Can't you feel it? We're in the moment now. As soon as I stop talking and we just listen, I can feel it. And I think of the headless, that space that's always there now. It's even more so when I don't see my face, knowing there's no face here, but I'd sure as hell see all your faces. And I project and project. Oh my goodness, wonder what they're thinking until I stop thinking. So I go in and out of this. I love being silent, but I'm supposed to contribute something this hour. And yes, silence does the ultimate job of that. But we all are these human doings too. So I love to have some fun and stimulation and all that. And I'm so into that. So I look back at my life and that period of pain when I lost my son. See, I think what happens now, I can get so out of my thinking, feelings, and just be in that space of now. And it really does feel pretty neutral. And you know what? I miss, I miss the emotions. I, and so last night I reread so many poems I wrote where I was in so much loving pain. And could can I read just a couple poems? Would that be okay? And I could always come back to something that would be more substance. And of course, a miracle. It's there. It's there. Is and then, bless her heart, I love her. Ellen Hamilton, dissolving the ego and everything she says. It just like, oh, it's so easy just to slow down and do what Ganji says. Stop. Don't go down that path. Be here right now. That's our default. That's who we are. And but okay. Oh my gosh. I don't know where to turn. But hang on. So oh, do you see how that it's just, isn't that ridiculous? That's just ridiculous. That tells you how much anxiety and fear. Boy, can you imagine being in a mind that does all that scaring the hell out of himself and has to have all these little things to kind of bring me back to come back. It's that movie. You remember that movie? Come back, Shane. Shane, come back. Oh my, I just cried when I that because it's that separation, that longing that I felt so much of my life. So can I give you just a brief? So back in 1992, on May 11th, one night my son calls me from LA and he goes on and on. Dad, he's in charge of a shipyard building boats, sailboats, and he's about 11 o'clock and he hates bookkeeping, all that. He just hated it because he's a doer. And everybody just loved him because he was always so upbeat doing. But he hated the bookwork. And so we talked for about, I guess, 40 minutes that night, late. And he was going on about how much he hated this customer and that customer, but he always had to be, the customer's always right. Just went to, and finally I got so sleepy. I said, John, I got to go to bed. So we signed off. So it was about midnight, but I couldn't go to sleep because I kept thinking about him. And in my mind, I had this dream of he was a sailboat and there was a coral reef and he hit that coral reef. And so I just said, wow, that scared me. So at midnight, I called him back and I said, John, can I tell you something? Oh, sure, Dad, you can tell me anything. I said, well, here's this dream. Just would you please be careful, whatever it is? Well, the next night, I got the message. He was dead. And it just dropped the bottom out of my world. But I realized even as I was driving home after the phone call, hearing that he had been in his dirt bike and hit a post and killed himself instantly, doing what he loved to do, just doing, and being, bless his heart. So I realized on the way home that everything I cherish will someday be gone. And he was the thing. He was my older son, 2 year older. Loved them both. They were such a part of my life. And I think what it was, this whole journey I've been on of I don't belong. I had two wonderful sisters and a loving father and mother, but being the youngest, I wasn't really spoiled. I just was kind of alone. I just, I suffered in my silence. I didn't have a close confidant because I had to do what's right and be. So, so, but what I was going to say is that I think in the last 10, 15 years, pursuing the spiritual path, I, at times it's harder to feel that sadness, that pain of feeling so, and I love it when I can cry. And I think for 2 years after 92, and May 12th, which happened to be my mother's birthday, I, for 2 years, just, but being a psychologist, I knew how to grieve. And boy, did I grieve. I cried. I wrote poems. I wrote letters to my son. He wrote letters back to me from, it was just such a healthy process, but it was all about, oh my goodness, my goodness. So can I read you just, and you know, one of the things this group, oh man, what I love about it, people are so open and share their vulnerability about, you know, and we've all lost those loved ones and we've been there, we've lost, we're all aging. And I enjoy the aging actually, because maybe it's my competitive nature. I finally get to be maybe a little ahead of, instead of always being one down, I maybe get to be a little bit one up. I don't know. It just I I I love life so much, and I love the humor and the pain of it. So let me just uh I spent hours trying to get it's so many. This is just 1 year, and and this is, I just call this the awful ache. This is the day after he died. It's beginning to happen. The settling in, the throbbing ache, that empty feeling of loss. The memories are starting to flow like a runaway train in panic, happy, sad, endearing, gut wrenching, and sublime, all punctuated with an awful ouch. There will be no more John. That little guy I tickled, threw into the air, played with all the time, to the young man I so admired. He was 28, with his delightful sense of humor, caressing me at every turn. How I was looking forward to the many years ahead of loving, sharing, our mutual enjoyment of each other. And now it's over. I still can't comprehend it. It's just a memory, but like the fragrance of a flower left indelibly on one's soul, my heart is spilling over with my grateful love and my tears of sorrow. And it somehow, writing those poems seemed to bring me, it did something for me. And sometimes it was like I just felt so empty. Oh, how precious the wetness of my tears. They fill my heart with the sorrow of my loss. how good it feels to cry and cry and cry, reaching out to those endearing moments filled with such loving yet painful memories. The void within me, I feel so empty. Oh, how I miss my son. Time drags when I think about him, then stops, and then I realize he's gone. Well, I just enjoyed the sadness at the grief. It just was so fulfilling at the time, I think. And it was wonderful what I could do with someone else who also loved him as I did and share that because it's just a kid sharing that now. I didn't know exactly how to put words the way I do today, but you know what? When I when I read these things, it seemed like it seemed like I knew so much already. I just somehow, when I would write from the pain, I guess the wisdom just came through in the now, in the now. That's why the one thing I do know, it's the now, the now, the now. And you know, there's a workbook 349 says, you will look upon that which you feel within. A dream within a dream within a dream. My shadow, my past, my future. They're all figments of my imagination, created, made up to support an image of the me I think I am. I scare myself with my memory, my judgments, and my indictments. It's like I have a tyrant within me. I am his prisoner, his slave, his victim of his attack. To be free is to rise above and to know these are just my thoughts. Peace of mind comes when I observe my thoughts and allow their existence, enabling me to then transcend their sentence. So I just kept pouring myself out on paper over and over different ways. And again, what I see is that it's this moment of silence that's always there. It always has my back. I remember Wilani once saying she never felt that alone loneliness. Boy, I lived, it seemed like I lived with that loneliness. And that's what my two sons were such. They were the two sweet spots of my life because I got to be a kid again with those two little guys. They were like two little cubs, and we three of us, sometimes to the consternation of my wife at that time, because but I could be a parent. I could, rise up. But I lived life as their little buddy. I finally had two buddies, and we played and played and played and played everything. Hide and seek. We go to the store. It's always a game, whatever it was. They followed me in a tennis court. We just played metaphorical tennis all the time. Just so fun, so fun. But I'll try to, because I just, I, my son has a saying now, hey, Dad, no, that's enough. Let's take a break. See, I get so much out of certain people now. And what I see from Emerson is that it's constantly, whatever he starts to tell me a story, and then that's a thought. Oh, there's another thought. Well, thought just kicked more thought. Then he asked, well, what's between that fear and not fear? What's between up and what's down? What is that? And finally, we get it. Nothing. It's silence. And his one-on-ones is which is all he does now, is just helping a person frame it. Okay, I'm scared, not scared. Well, what's between scared and not scared? I'm lonely, not lonely. What's between those? And that brings a person to free from thoughts. It's subtraction. It just now, it's now. Over and over. It's now. What's between that? Oh, well, what's between that? Whatever this duality that I'm living in my thinking mind, what's what's what is it really? And so that's what I love about this. And so I um so I did write some more healing poems, and let me see that this is life just is. It's perfect right now, this moment, not then, not before, just now. This thought, that one right now. Oops, not the one just then, but this one coming up right now. That's the one, the only one I have any control over. I can think life should be different. I should be better, should be, they should be. But this moment is, just is. It's perfect. Okay, it's all right because it just is. The only choice I have right now is to think it should be different or it's perfect the way it is because it is. So I have many where I'm appreciating the now and the many messengers that I've projected out into the world about judging myself, judging me. So I'm not okay. So I can look at that. So I had this group today preparing for it, scaring myself. And I got you all to scare me. So you're the messengers today, every one of you, because you're letting me know. Oh, I'm the one that's judging myself, but boy, I sure got you know 19 messengers out there that let me know I'm not okay. Do you see how I use you for my own growth and release and so forth? It is the game until it's not, and it just thank you, thank you. So I don't know. I just want to stop now and thank you all for for, forgive me that forgive me an opportunity in the space to just be with the love that I have for my sons and everyone. because it just ain't getting better than that. So thank you. I'll be quiet now.
Thank you, William. I have things to say, but I'm going to let Amy speak first. She had her hand up. And do you want me to manage the hands?
Like always, you're like my big sister. Thank you so much.
Thank you, William. Amy, it's all yours.
Mm, I I just want to thank you, William, for stepping up to the plate. And I really can just barely touch the surface of how devastating that phone call about your son must have been. And yet you gave us, even without using words, you gave me a sense of the desolation and desperation that um, must have just followed you for a long time with that. To have that empty space, I just can't imagine it. But I want to just thank you for stepping up to the plate. And I'm curious because I understand your fear, but I'm curious if you could share with us what kept you up last night. What was that fear? Like, what did you imagine the worst thing that could happen would be?
Uh, Thank you, David. First of all, I love this kind of moment where I get to look at what I don't know, and I can feel myself bumping into my fear, even as I was spending all these hours reading the poems, trying to organize, get it, because I didn't want to bore people. I didn't want to, whatever. So the thoughts were going crazy, judging myself. And who would I be without that fear? I think of Marianne Williamson's. I think I would be so lovingly in joy, that it wouldn't matter because I would include everyone in there with me. It's like we would all be in joy. And that's how I would hold myself. But last night it was very difficult for me to because my mind, I was into the past, the future. And that's what I give credit to Emerson, because he is such a proponent. Reminder, reminder, reminder. No past, no future. No past, no future. Now, what's between? Nothing. Always now, 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 now. And so I'm 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 okay that I don't have a good answer, because I just feel I loved your question. What I get from it is just your love and concern and wanting to be with me. And that's what I get more and more. I'm paying less attention to my words, other people's words. They're just more thoughts. I love it. It's the it's what goes beyond and before and be after. It's what's before. And that's how I'm beginning to understand awareness. The difference between being aware of and being aware. Such a difference just now. So I don't it, that thank you. That's what came up.
Thank you.
William, I haven't heard of Emerson other than the old author, Ralph Waldo. So can you tell us a little bit about his work and
Oh, I can try to. Again, you all have been so good about summarizing different authors, teachers, practitioners, and okay, I'll try to give what. my impression when I first came across him about 3 or 4 years ago, uh, big glasses, baseball hat, does not look the part of any teacher. Always laugh, giggle, laugh, but so present. Over the 3 years now, when I've turned to him in the last month or so, he's honed his skill. He does not give talks. He gives one-on-ones, lots of them, gives them away. He just the farthest from a guru or teacher. He's just present as a friend and constantly, well, what would that? It's that the moment is always pow, wow. Can you feel it now? And so he has a following. He's been interviewed by different people, but he's led. He was asked to give a workshop, but he doesn't talk. He just does one-on-ones. And in the process of observing him do one-on-one and then someone getting it, and then someone else getting it, slowing down, being now, oh, it's like he says, it's like cutting with a sword. And like, when you can put down your shield and be the ocean, he just is that vertical dimension. He's always there. And that's what I feel more and more. Can I say a little quip? Years ago, I was in a workshop, and in this workshop, it, we all were having to look at how we limit ourselves with our beliefs. And so the phrase that came to me, and I said it thousands of times, I can, I am, I will, I choose, I have, I love, I create, I enjoy. I can, I will, I am, I love, I create, I enjoy, I can, I have, I will, I have. I can say that it just like that's the vertical dimension. And when I can put myself in the elevator and just let life do the arising, as opposed to being on the escalator climbing up past, present, and future. But when I take away the past and future, I'm just in the elevator letting life, and I'm just along for the ride.
Thank
See, I get scattered. Sorry about that, but yeah.
you. You're being very clear, and now I know who Emerson is, and Michelle put a link to his site in the chat. Thank you, Michelle. Hey, thank you, William. Hey, Livy.
Hey, birthday woman. Hey, William, thank you so much for sharing with us today. And I just want to say how much I heard me in your talk. And, I used to tell people I feel like I'm separate from myself within myself with the judgments and everything. And your writing explained it just exactly what it feels like. And I want to thank you very much for putting that so beautifully into words. Thank you very much for that. And I just really thank you so much for sharing with us today, sharing your heart with us. And you are so loved. I just thank you, thank you, thank you. I can so relate and appreciate you putting into words some things that I haven't been able to. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then there's Rana. Hey, Rana.
Hey, so grateful to be here and to experience this, William. What I'm most grateful right now is for the load of paternal energy that I received as you have spoken this morning. When you were reading your poem, I thought about my dad, And then as you were talking about playing with your sons, I thought about my dad. and the love, I mean, so much love. And I liked how you pointed out that the truth has kind of been chasing you the whole time. Like I could hear it in your writing. And it was so interesting when you said, I wrote my son letters and he wrote them back.
Mhm.
And I can understand what you mean by that now. There's so much wisdom in writing. When I just write without, maybe write to the end of my intellect for a second and then let whatever comes through. And there's a lot of wisdom and healing in that. And thank you for sharing that process. I loved when you picked up your book and you showed us all those little tabs and all those little notes. And, I get it. I get it. There's something about order. There's something in me. This is for me that tells me I'm going to need to read that again. I'm going to need to look that up again. But what's so exquisite is it just comes back around when it's needed, you know? And just the breadcrumbs that have been laid for us. Thank you for that father energy today. I feel like I received it in a way that was needed. My husband is a wonderful father, but he's not my father. But he does exude that paternal energy, right? But I feel like I got something a little different this morning in this now moment, and I didn't know I needed it. So every time I'm asked to facilitate or share my story or anything, I am so fearful. It's still there. And it always works out great every time. Just as yours has done today, William. Thank you for letting us in a little closer.
Thank you, Rana. I feel a connection with your dad already. And that's what I feel now more and more being 93. I feel like, wow, I really have a right to be who I am and have always been. So let me just read. You've probably heard this little saying, come to the edge, he said. They said, we are afraid. Come to the edge, he said. They came. He pushed them. They flew. So what I wrote to me, so little to give right now, just this much, no more. Not that I wouldn't want to, but my cup is half empty. That's the best I can do till I fill up with more. The pain of loss, the sadness of grief, a big, deep, bottomless hole, scary, unknown, timeless. My heart weeps, my tears reach out. I feel his presence. Oh, how I miss him, his sweet smile, his funny laugh, his special delight whenever we met. His pictures surround me, both inside and out, reminders of a joyful past, good times, happy times, loving times. But now I must let go, like jumping off a cliff into the unknown and invisible space, so personal, so private, my only real connection to him, myself, and hereafter.
Thank you, William. Before I hand things to Julie, I just I want to communicate my gratitude to all of us. I guess is what I want to say. Somehow we've come together and created a space that allows the intimacy of a share that we all just witnessed. And that to me is extraordinary. And so thank you, William, for, sharing your heart with us and allowing us to see, the shadows and the fear, and so much gratitude for whatever it is that has brought us all into whatever it is we're creating here that allows that to happen. Let no secrets be hid, right? There are no private thoughts. Let no secrets be hid. When we feel isolated and alone, it's because we're choosing somehow to turn our back on source, right? And the energy it takes to say, screw that, and turn back to the light is excruciating. And by the way, you can't read it, but that little frame thing behind my head, that's the prayer. Our greatest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our greatest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. So even though you can't read it, the entire prayer, I got it off of eBay and put it on the frame and posted it there. And the energy of it reminds me that we've never left our source, and we're never alone. And in the greatest depths of our despair, when we can stand still and say yes, like miracles happen. But thank you
Yeah.
to all of us. Yeah. Hey, Julie.
Good afternoon, everyone. Morning, still here. Okay. William, you just touched my heart so much today, and I was trying to. My timing got screwed up, so I was in the grocery store, like, oh my gosh, it's open door time, and I turned it on, and I'm almost done. And then when you talked about, the phone call you got, it just reminded me. I dealt with two really sudden deaths, with one with my nephew, and then 8 months later with my brother, and so I definitely could feel that phone call and your emotions. And I've always admired you from when I came into these rooms. And I can't really talk because your words, just that poem that you just said was beautiful. And I concur with Sydney just said, that to be able to feel in these rooms is such a gift. And just so thank you, William, for being here and being intimate and able to share your emotions. And I thank you. My heart is so full with it. So thank you.
Wow.
Love you.
I sure feel your heart. Thank you, Julie. Wow. I used to hear like Werner Erhard and different ones say to the congregation of however many hundreds were there, and he would say, thank you, I love you, because it's you who allows me to be. And I never understood that. But I think that's what goes on. That we all are one, and we see ourselves in the mirror of who we're being in touch with. And it's just so wonderful to look at each one of you who, at times, I've got little images inside. And the heart is a pretty good compass, isn't it?
Hello, Mr. Sunday.
Hi, William. Thank you, William. Yeah, the heart, the compass. It's a good idea about that compass. I like to tell you where it pointed to me in your talk, because what I got out was that I think at the end where you just mentioned recently, come to the edge. He pushed them, and they flew. It's so hopeful for me. There's a message of hope there that, hey, we're all on the edge and we can fly. Just to know that ahead of time. So just for reminding me about that, and listening to your story has been a great treasure for me today, William. Thank you very much. And I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge you for that, for your heart, your beautiful heart, just like Julie said. Daddy, 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 let's play.
And then there is Pat.
Hey, William. Thank you so much. You know, the word that comes to my mind is courage. You have a lot of courage to open up so widely and let us all in to your heart, which is a beautiful place. And one of the things that you said jumped out at me because I had that experience very recently was that, you know, there's the sadness that all of this that we enjoy, all the people, all the pets, all the whatever, it's, you know, it's gone. I mean, it's gonna be gone. But, you know, that's a good feeling and one worth feeling, and then one worth letting it rise and fall because, on the other hand, you know, that's who we really are, which is, you know, immortal and everywhere and joyful and just made of nothing but light and love. So yeah, I guess that's the light and the shadow, the sadness over things that rise and fall, and they're going to come and go anyway, including this body and this so-called person. And, you know, and that's just a very worthy area to explore in our feelings and our thoughts. And it's like everything, all the shadow only points back to the light. And I want to, you know, I mean, I don't know how you reacted right after your son died, but my sister's son died very suddenly and very ugly because they had been in a huge fight and he was drunk and they were in a screaming fight. And he jumped in his car and drove into a tree within a block of the house. So then she got to see her son in, you know, completely destroyed. And she, you know, I didn't hear from her for a while. So I called up her husband. I think it was 3 years I didn't hear from her. And then I called up her husband and I said, how come I'm not hearing from Dot? And he says, she's been drunk for 3 years.
Wow.
She's been drunk on the floor every day for 3 years. And I said, oh, yeah? I said, who's buying the booze? Because my sister was so dyslexic, she couldn't work. She was so beaten as a child because she couldn't read and she just couldn't, she had to have disabled placard because she couldn't find her parking spot because she couldn't read any of this stuff. So I said, who's buying the booze? And a month later, I get a call from my sister. She says, guess what? I've been sober for a month. I know, that's nice. But, you know, it's sad. I never said anything to her about the phone call to her husband. But, you know, I don't think you did that. I don't think you just bailed and drugged out. I didn't hear you saying that. You went into it and you faced it and you lived it and you didn't bail. So courage again. Congratulations.
Thank you, Pat. And could I just piggyback on your word courage? Because see, most of my life, I used a different word to describe myself to myself. Coward. I was a coward. I never got in a fight. I never ran from one, but I never risked getting beaten up. So, as Emerson would say, courage, coward. What's in between?
Someone smart enough to not get in a fight. That's wisdom.
What's in between is nothing. It's now. And that's the whole point. And that's what I keep getting from Emerson. Whatever that duality can be either one. But really, what's in between? The truth now. And that's the vertical dimension.
Yep. That's great. And also, I want to say, if you're 92 years old, I'm impressed because I think I look pretty damn good for almost 80, but
I
I
think
wouldn't
you
look
do
as good
too.
as you 12 years from now.
I think
93.
you do. I think
I
you
said
do too.
92.
Isn't it
Well,
93 now, William? Yeah, it's
93.
93.
Congratulations.
you're getting up there. Could I, since we're talking about fathers and sons, which I just feel so confused at times. Am I a son? Am I a father? Am I just a dad? What am I, a grandfather? So to me, a son and his father, a father and his son, what closer connection can there ever be? That child within, so precious, all boy, just like me. Then why the push away, the competition, the striving to make him like me? Then step back and just look at this beautiful energy, so unique. Enjoy it. Don't kill it. Oh, how many times I would change some of those things I did. My heart aches when I remember those shining, bright eyes, that bouncing bundle of energy, just wanting to be appreciated and loved for the wonder that he was. Forgive me because I failed to see him clearly. I was too noticing my own. But the joy, the fun was there. But out of all that, son, boy, man, fellow human being, thanks for being in my life to teach, to learn from, to enjoy, to respect, to love, and love still more.
Mm. Mm.
Thank you, William. Feeling blessed and grateful. And inspired just to say to the group, over the months, we've had an hour with Lonnie, with John, with Pat, now with William. The invitation is open, for all of us to just share what we might not normally share, about our story, about what got us from, I don't know, from point A to here, however that looks. So just let me know when you are inspired and we will set something up. We would love to hear from everyone.
Mm.
I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart and from my sons as well.
Mm.
You are very much loved, William. And as far as I'm concerned, and I'm going to speak for all of us, you are never alone. I carry you in my heart, like all the time. All right. Any final words from anyone?
Just thank you, William. Thank you again. 93. You don't look 93. You look great.
No. And what a great teacher you are, William. Thank
Yep.
you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Turn the recording off.